name's Nika, and I am here to tell you guys my thoughts on the new Exorcism movie, Believer. The Exorcism Believer. So it's been a while. I don't even know if I've watched the original Exorcism in its entirety ever in my life. I just remember those classic scenes from the movie. I know what the movie's about. A little girl becomes possessed and they're trying to perform this exorcism on her to save her soul and whatnot because she's possessed by the devil. So when this movie came out, I was really intrigued by the fact that there were two girls in this movie, and one was a black girl, one was a white girl. Immediately that grabbed my attention for a movie. Now, I'm not a movie critic. I just want to do a disclaimer. I'm not a movie critic. I'm just someone who watches kind of like a lot of movies. And for me, I tend to gravitate towards movies that are they just have like a weird plot to them that's a little bit like more creative. Like there's a lot more than what meets the eye. Like I like certain elements in a movie that I just find interesting. Like time. I love time travel movies, going back in time and just watching people navigate just not touching a damn thing or else like the future will be affected by it. And speaking of that, this main character who's in the movie, Leslie Odom Jr., he's actually he was in a movie on Amazon, and it was something about time. So that's funny that I was talking about that and I just realized that that's the actor. And this is probably like the second movie I think I've seen him in. I haven't seen him in a lot, but I think he's a really good actor. Like he's up there with like a Denzel Washington, just a very like he plays a dramatic part very well, and he did in this movie. I mean, we weren't expecting like just such a dramatic performance or whatever, but you can tell that he kind of thinks about his role, and he has that depth to his character. So I really enjoyed that. Like I said, this movie, what drew me in was the two girls that were being possessed, and it was a black one and a white one. And I know some people don't like to talk about race in a movie, but this really drew me to that, a black and a white girl. It was just the duality of it. I don't know if it's because I'm a Gemini, so I'm drawn to like the two thing. Like I don't know, but so this movie starts out and wait, let me talk about the reviews, because this is the purpose of why I'm making this video, because I just really don't understand why people thought this movie was so horrible. Like it's a 3.3 on Google reviews, which doesn't mean it's a horrible movie, but people are kind of a little overly critical of movies these days. But on IMDb it's a 5.1 out of 10, 22% on Rotten Tomatoes, which Rotten Tomatoes, I feel like it's gonna judge harsh either, but 22%, come on. For somebody who, when I go to the movies, I don't really need like for sequels. I enjoy a movie by itself. If this is supposed to be some type of sequel to it, I don't know. I like when movies stand on their own by themselves. Like I just love Back to the Future 2. I just like it. I don't know. Like I thought this movie was very easy to follow from the beginning to the end. We already know two girls go off into the woods. They come back 72 hours later, 3 days later, and they're possessed. Something's a little bit off. So going into this movie, it didn't require any extensive knowledge about we know what the Exorcist is about. So going into this movie, we just, we know somebody's going to get possessed and they're going to try to unpossess them. Exorcise. Duh. But anyway, so this movie got like really harsh criticism, and I don't understand why. But then as I watch this movie, you just gotta point out the fact that some people just don't like to see black people in movies. Like it bothers them, whether it's an unconscious or unconscious thing. When black people are taking up the screen, we know that the ratings go down. It's just like I don't know what's going on. And I thought this movie was very well put together. I'm not someone who goes on Tubi and say, oh, this movie's good on Tubi. Like you'll never hear me say that, because I'm like really critical about like if the trailer doesn't pull me into a movie and I'm interested, then I'm just not interested. But of course this movie interests me for the reasons that I stated before. And in the beginning it shows like the couple with Leslie Odom Jr. and his wife. They're in Haiti, and his wife is pregnant, like 9 months pregnant, and she gets this blessing, this Haitian blessing. And they're basically the main characters of the story. the Leslie Odom Jr. He's the main character. Well, anyway, spoilers, by the way, spoilers. So anyway, his wife dies. His wife dies, and he has to raise this child alone. And then it's just crazy because this is the decision, and it kind of made me think, because I told my husband, it was like, I've been pregnant 3 times. I have 4 children. It's just like, if anything happens, if it's me or the baby, save me. I know that's such a selfish thing to say, but it's just like, save me. Come on, you know me longer. But I know that is such a tough decision. Hopefully they're not making that decision nowadays, because modern medicine, hopefully they don't have to make that decision too often. But anyway, so we know that something happened to where the child survived, the wife did not. We'll talk about that later. But like I was saying, like this movie pretty much revolves around that character, and the daughter and the father, and we know that they have a close relationship. They're very playful. You see them play like hide and seek in the house and everything like that. And so the girl's being dropped off in school, and you just see that their relationship is very tight knit, and the father is doing the best he can. The nosy neighbor is just like harassing him about to bring the trash cans in. The father's running around trying to make sure that he has breakfast and everything for his daughter. Like, we know that this man is, trying his best. Like, he's really raising his daughter, and you can tell that he takes it seriously, So there's a scene where the girls get dropped off at school. They go through their school day, and then after school they disappear. So the parents of the white girl and the black girl, let me use their names, because their acting was very great. It's Olivia O'Neill as Catherine and Lydia Jewett as Angela. So Catherine and Angela go into the woods. They're gone for 3 days. They come back. They look a mess. Like the father and the other two, Catherine's parents, they do a search party, get started. Victor, Angela's father, he finds like little clues and pieces of their clothing and everything like that. Well, anyway, they end up finding them in this barn. Like the barn owners or whatever, like the son, he finds the girls, and then he reports them, and they're found. Now they look a little off, of course. They've been gone for 3 days. They think they've been gone for like a few hours. So you start to see those classic exorcism just movie, like the decrepitness, just the wasting away, the decomposition of these little girls' bodies. Like, they look horrible. There's a scene where Catherine really played her part. Like, if I could do like a top acting Catherine, the white girl, she played that part. Like, she did a phenomenal job in that. Like, she did that. She ate, as they say. She really ate. So there's a scene where she's like sitting in church, and her like 2 little brothers and little sister are just looking at her like, ew, and it's just funny because it's like the devil is like possessing them even more. And of course we get to the point of the exorcism, and it's just everybody, what happens is they realize that with faith, you have different faiths. You have the voodoo, and you have that's my washing machine going crazy. Hopefully it subsides. But anyway, so it's like at the point of the exorcism in this movie, you have several religions coming together. I'm not sure if Catherine's church was some type of Protestant religion. You have Catholic with the neighbor who's talking about the trash can. She was gonna be a nun or something like that, but she ended up being a nurse. So that's the neighbor, and she's very religious. So she comes into the point. You have Catholicism, you have this other Christian religion, Methodist, Baptist, whatever, you have that. You have voodoo, and all of these religions, it really goes to show like they all believe in God. It's all about faith, and them coming together. They had to end up coming together to work together to really solve this problem, which is bigger than these little sections of religion. It's like good versus evil, God versus the devil. And I just thought that that was a good, like, that made the movie feel really, really, because it doesn't matter like what type of religion you are, you can find, like, you can agree that there's something a little bit higher than us, and they're like forces, good and evil. So they come to the point in the exorcism, and like the priest, the Catholic priest, he asks for permission to do the exorcism, but they don't give him the permission. And so he's very reluctant. Like, he's praying for them in the car. Like, he wants to be somehow part of it, but he got, like, they refused it. They didn't want him to be a part of it. He actually ends up being a part of it, but it didn't end up pretty well for him. And I think that's maybe because he didn't hear the directions of not to touch them from the voodoo priestess. So like when he touched them, it didn't really work out for him. But anyway, so this probably one of the most like pivotal scenes in the movie is just the devil hones in on is it Lamar Matilla? I know this man's name is not Lamar Odom. I know this man not Leslie Odom Jr. Victor. So the devil kind of taps into people, like he kind of tapped into the nurse slash ex-nun, and he knew that she had an abortion, and that's kind of when the nurse realized, the neighbor realized that, wait, this really is the devil, because he knows things that I've never told anyone. So he did that to her, and then he also did that to Victor, where we go back to the day where he had to choose between save the wife or the child, and Victor chose to save the wife. Thank you, Victor. But unfortunately, he made the choice, but the child ended up living before. And maybe it ties into that blessing that they received from, maybe it ties into the blessing that they received, that the child received at the very beginning of the movie. They did a ritual, and it was a protection for the baby. And so you see that, and then even at the end of the movie where the wife was about to die, he said, protect the child, but he made the choice to save his wife, but the wife did not make it at all. So knowing that, when we come back to the scene, we think all this time that Victor chose to save the child, but he chose to save his wife, and that was revealed in the movie. And classic devilry, he really brings that to the attention, and he makes it seem like the daughter is just saying, you didn't choose me, and why would you not choose me? You don't love me, you don't like me, you don't want me. And so all of that is just playing on his heartstrings, because it's just like, damn, I didn't know you was gonna find out about that. But at this point, we know it's like the devil with the trickery. So at that point in the movie, the devil tells him, okay, now you're going to have to choose again. Is it Catherine, or is it child with the girl name? This is why I can't do movie reviews. Is it Catherine, or is it Angela that you're going to choose to save? So he gives him a choice. I'm like, damn you, devil. And this movie really had me on the edge of my seat. And like, I'm not an extreme movie critic or anything, but this was just a good movie. And like, for the reasons I said before, to me, it was a good movie, but I know everyone has their own taste. And I really enjoyed this movie as a casual moviegoer. But anyway, so everyone is looking, like Victor's looking at like the mother and Catherine's mother and father, and he's just like, I'm not going to choose. I can't choose that, because if you choose, of course, your natural instincts, you want to save your own child, but at the cost of somebody else's child. And so he really struggled with that decision, and I think it's because of the decision he made before. He made this decision to save his wife, but the child ended up living. So it's just like, now he has to choose again. And it just almost feels like why is he not choosing this child? And of course the devil is like playing with him. But he chooses to not save the child again, to not save Angela. But at the same time, what happens if somebody else chooses their child? Like, that was just, it was so much going on in like that moment of the movie. But anyway, so Angela's father ends up choosing, because it's like you can see like their bodies are being contorted and they just look like they're in so much pain. So Angela's father screams, I choose Catherine, I choose Catherine. And everybody was just like, wow, I thought we wasn't choosing. I thought we were gonna rock it out. You know, nobody or you know, all or nothing. Like everybody was just like, wow. But we know the devil plays all day, all night. And Catherine ends up, like, her soul is being dragged to hell. And it was such a, you know, it was such a sad scene, you know, to know that the devil won in the end because he chose a soul. And I guess that was the purpose of having two souls in the movie. Well, they had two, so that somebody would be claimed by the devil. But it was just, I thought this movie was really good. And like when they chose, I was just like I was emotionally invested into this movie, if you can't tell. And so and I just really fell in love with Angela. She just seemed like she was just a great, you know, a great girl. Like Catherine too, like they're both great girls, but they were the main characters of the movie. And Angela, you know, you just have, you know, you see scenes with her just really wishing that she would have known her mother, and that just gave her character much more depth, and I really enjoyed it. But anyway, my washing machine is telling me that I'm talking too much because it's in like a spin cycle. I probably need to fix it at one point, but probably not because it still washes the clothes. But anyway, so yeah, that was my little, I guess, movie review slash rant slash whatever, because this was a pretty good movie and I'm not sure why everybody did not like it. I can only guess, it's only my opinion, why, you know, why they didn't like it. But thank you for watching all of that and my little thoughts. I really like movies. I may do a few more like movie reviews. Surprisingly, I went with my girls to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the new one, and that one was really good to me because you had Ice Cube and it was like that millennial slash Gen X, what is it? Yeah, millennial slash Gen X generation thing where they had like something for the kids. No, Gen Z. It was like a Gen X, millennial, Gen Z like collaboration, like for those three generations together. And I thought it was like really, really cool. The way they did that together. And Ice Cube was the voice of Superfly, and he just brought so much to that character. I really enjoy hearing his voice on there. But anyway, maybe I'll do a review about it, maybe, I guess. All right, thank you guys for watching. Bye.